Right, we're on to the next favourite one. Go on then, get your big deal out. This can go many different ways now. Moo.
Yeah.
The big deal.
I'm going to say, your cat's looking less impressed now. Just staring at your big deal. Go on then, do you want to talk about the big deal?
Yep, the big deal is a big deal for Ogres. So, what Ogres have struggled from is being very mono-build, generally.
Yeah.
Because you are forced to take basically at least 3 hordes worth of Ogres to get 3 inspiring sources, and you do need minimum of 3 inspiring sources.
And those are shield breakers.
And those are shield breakers, or boomers, or hunters. And then if you want any fun stuff, any fun heroes, like bullies, you would have to buy at least 2 more hordes, and that's your army done.
Yeah.
And that's it. What the big deal does is gives you the monster inspiring source, and everything else about it is fantastic, but it's that you basically 1 less horde worth of
which is
unlocks.
A 250 point swing in your army, which is you've gained 250 points in an ogre list to do what you want with, which is massive. It's a big deal.
Yep. Brutal 2 is fantastic.
As a halfling player, I will agree.
Yep. Not only being able to have Brutal 2 on the big deal, but also being able to give it to something else within 12 inches. Crucial combat is phenomenal. Yeah. On top of this, you've got other changes in the list. You've got, we've got to say, bullies.
Yeah.
Are really good now.
Bullies went from really good to, oh my fucking god.
I wouldn't say...
Well... They're not Lords and Frostfangs.
They're not Lords and Frostfangs.
They are far cheaper though.
Yeah, but they're not Lords and Frostfangs.
But they are far
but
cheaper.
they're just so not.
But they're not Lords and Frostfangs.
I don't care.
They maybe can go up to the 15-inch charge range rather than all the time. They're 3 less nerve. Their defense 4.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying they're as good, but how many points are there?
140.
Right, so they're 60 points cheaper. So that's a free. That's more than a free bully. That's 2 Lords of Frostfang versus 3 bullies.
They're still not as.
Of course, they're not as good, but they're completely different units.
Yeah. But yeah, they're good.
But yeah, anyway, bullies are the inspiring source to take now.
Yeah. They're not very inspiring.
No. So I think most ogre lists now are going to have the big deal, Nom, and a bully, and that's your core of this is an ogre list.
Yeah. I think people don't seem to rate the bullies, so I think they're wrong not to. But I don't think you'll see a bully in every list. I think you should do.
Yeah.
But I don't think you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Nom the big deal will appear in every single list.
Yeah.
Yeah, people love them some Nom.
Yeah.
And the big deal, I think, is great. I'm not against seeing a big giant centerpiece mammoth in every list.
I don't think anybody's ever used a mammoth which
No.
wasn't using it for the Jesse tournament.
Yeah.
Jesse Chariot tournament.
I did see one. So I have seen them occasionally, and as much as I'm aligned them, they do surprise me when I come up against them.
They're
good. They're
a mountain of attacks.
Yeah,
They're a shit ton of nerve. They declare defense.
Like I say,
just not good enough.
Yeah. Well, the problem is they're a horde cost.
Yeah,
they're a
and you
horde
need
cost
the
that provides
hordes.
no unlocks and doesn't do anything for your army. So
I used to run Beasts of War with Kings of Men back when Beasts of War were Mammoths.
You had unlocks for days.
Yeah, you could buy a ballista for them, and they're actually really good because they got massive nerve bump and they got fearless as well. And even then, when they were fighting, just 12 melee 4 attacks. I was getting 3 hits and being like 3 damage and be like, well, actually that's about right. And thinking, I'm paying a lot of money for this guy. He's doing 3 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which now you're fine with, because actually he's basically free in terms of army unlocking, because you've got so many monster unlocks.
And he's got Brutal 2. So Rampage and Brutal 2.
Yeah. Like, even without Rampage, the Brutal 2 would be worth it at that point.
The Inspiring would close and have been worth it alone, to be honest.
Yes.
Stuff is really, really cool.
Yeah. So that is a massive, massive win for Ogres. There's also the change to Ogre Warrior regiments, which allow an extra hero unlock.
Yeah. You might finally use Ogre Warriors.
Well, I'm disappointed it didn't extend to hordes.
Yeah.
So I think you'll see.
What, an extra unlock for a Warrior Horde?
Yeah. Because the hordes still suffer the same problem in that every other option is better.
Yeah. Just take siege breakers.
Yeah. Just take siege breakers or hunters or warrior regiments you can argue for. I think I'd still lean towards berserker regiments myself.
Yeah.
They're fearless.
But if you do that unlock now, you don't have to spend 2 points.
And you can run that the MSU Ogre build now.
Does not what we're doing, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boomer chariots.
This is amazing, this one. So when we were talking in the rules committee chat about this, and one of the predictions was every ogre list you ever see now will have a troop of boomer chariots, the mammoth, and none. And I said, isn't it unbelievable that 2 units I have never, ever, ever seen fielded are going to go from didn't even take as a joke to it's going to be so frustrating you're going to see them in every bloody list now with little changes, and they've just gone to the other end of the spectrum.
So shooting armies in general were a massive problem for ogres. We don't have individuals to shut anything down, and all of our units are very expensive and low nerve for what they are.
So they're slow as well.
And relatively
so
slow.
You get shot at least 3 turns.
Yeah. So you go up against an artillery army, just let's see if I can kill anything.
Hope you get there.
Yeah. Let's hope for bad dice rolls. Now you've got the stealthy to really, really help with that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's nice. You can give it the horn for a 9-inch aura.
Yep. Do that every time.
Yeah, Veil Shadows is still a thing now, so if you don't want to go for the you've still got an option to get around the shooting.
There's no good Veil of Shadows caster in.
Nah, you want your Warlocks with Lightning Bolt in really.
Plus the
Warlocks already get too expensive with Drain Life and Lightning Bolt and yada.
Plus the Veil of Shadows. Can you cast it before turn 1? No. So this is available turn 1.
Yeah.
And you happen to get a Boomer Chariot Hod. Which
might be useful.
Who knows? It's just a mobile stealthy aura.
It's a nice wide stealthy aura with a Boomer Chariot Hod attached.
Yeah.
The way I look at it is it gets to the point where that Boomer Chariot troop or regiment it's going to be a troop is chaff.
Yeah, because
by the time you get close enough that you can use it as chaff, you're close enough that shooting is not going to be as effective.
It's chaff that happens to have a shooting attack, but mainly as a stealthy aura.
Yeah. I'm never going to use the shooting attack, really. I'm going to have it sat behind my army. Late game, it might fire a couple of shots off, but I would probably, when it gets close enough, just run it straight forwards in front of something.
If you're running a full boomer army, 2 units of boomers, 2 boomer chariots sitting with the rest of your boomers, would be that'd be nice and annoying, and everybody wouldn't be happy to see you or be your friend. But you could do it.
You could do it.
I like it. It's a novel way of making boomer chariots relevant.
Yes.
Because what was the alternative of making just a boomer horde that moved faster?
Yeah.
You know, so it's supposed to represent all the smoke and powder and everything coming from the guns.
And they're not unkillable by any means.
You could argue that the boomer horde should get it, but
they're really, really killable. Defense 4, 11, 13. That's quite easy to kill.
You're shooting them. You're not shooting anything else next to it.
Yeah.
So. No, I like it. I think it's a really nice change. I like every change for Ogres. I think
everything in there is good. Yeah.
The slasher is. I think of all the slasher upgrades, I think the Ogres probably get the worst deal here.
Yep.
Because it's a nice rule. It's Fury on the goblins, but you're not taking goblins. So.
And why would you care about goblins countercharging?
Yeah. You might do. Goes up to 10 attacks. It's nice, but yeah, it's
still not good.
Yeah. The other slashers. So all the slashers have now got an aura for something. Like the Gekatar one for salamanders, I think is really nice. The goblin one's really nice because that affects more beasts. The ogres get the rawest deal easily there, but
you get the big deal though. So
you get the big deal, yeah.
Got the big deal, so happy with that.
Yeah. The formation is what it is.
Yeah,
it's very much the old one. It's back. It's not as good as it was.
But it was broken before, so
it was.
It wasn't.
Well, it wasn't broken. It was so obvious to take the because you took the formation plus the banner, didn't you? Banner of the Griffin.
Yeah, but
Rally 2 on everything.
But I took that for a while, and I wasn't impressed because at the time the chariots just didn't have enough attacks.
No, because the Lord didn't go. Your big ogre man didn't go with the chariots. He went with the rest of your ogres to give them rally 2.
Yeah.
Because that's what the ogres needed. Like the chariots were just nice to have.
Yeah.
As well.
But it is what it is. You know, it's not. Yeah. It's not bad, is it? It's
cheap enough. You know.
Rampages are fine. A few extra attacks.
15 points for rallies. Sweet.
Yeah. If you're gonna take chariots, take it.
Take it. Yeah, exactly. Take rampage on. Why not? No, I think ogres do well.
Yeah, and it surprises me how few changes there are that have had such a massive difference on the army.
Yeah, definitely.
Just the construction and in terms of how much it opens up the builds. It's a massive win for them.
This is one of those changes where I'm looking for the ogre players sitting there and starting to go, I can do this now. I can do this now. Actually, I can do this now. And it's
Hunters were good. Now they've got Slayer D3. It's quite nice.
Yeah.
Giants got better.
Yeah.
You might see them in the list now. Maybe.
Scouts still get the very raw deal for chaff.
But they get more nerve.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this earlier.
The regiments.
I wonder if this might actually be a nerf in disguise. Hear me out.
You got better for free.
Because you want chaff to die.
Oh, they're more likely to waver in front of you now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The worst thing in the world is wavering chaff, and I wonder if actually their nerve is at the point now where the enemy can more reliably waver them.
4 points of damage now actually wavers them pretty much.
Yeah.
Fairly reliably.
And if you wanted to waver them, but you did too much damage previously, you can't undo that. But now if you don't do enough damage,
you spike one of the dice now, you can just go leave that there.
Yep, I'll leave that there. It's going to be on a 4 or 5. They're going to waver.
Yeah.
I'll be very happy with that. A 7 they'll rout, but I'd love a waiver.
Yeah.
Whereas if you got to 3 or 4, they're going to waver.
You'd probably shoot again, tip him over the edge and kill him. Yeah. Yeah, possibly. Deal with it.
Yeah.
They weren't a good chap to start with.
No.
So,
what you got?
Why can't we get snow foxes?
Because you eat them all. Probably the reason.
Tom, you want to talk about the crocodile?
Oh, I hate this bloody thing. Right, so this was when we were talking about this stuff in player testing. I think, obviously people chime in their opinion or they'll like it or whatever in your Facebook post and article, and then we're talking about things we like and all that kind of stuff. And I just had a comment about Crocodile just feeling and looking wrong. Look at their profile, and for melee 3, 7 attacks, vicious, crush 1, and duelist, and you're just like, why is this guy nearly a vampire lord in terms of combat output? Why is this bloody Crocodile as dangerous? If not more, he's more dangerous than Bazuzu. It's like
He's also
110 points. Oh,
much softer than Bazuzu.
Yeah, but then it's half the price.
I know.
You could have 2.
Yeah,
2 of these running around being
you could
duelists
have
and
3 of them.
silly. Oh man, I hate.
They're
And
also
it's not
monsters.
even a character. Yeah, it's a monster, so you get it as an unlock off of your
It's almost like we'd learned not to stick all the good stuff for ogres in the character slots.
individual monster.
Yeah.
I just think it should be 5 attacks and make it even cheaper. Because then it can be like a semi-chaff unit.
I really like it.
I really like it too.
I don't disagree with you that it could have been fewer attacks and cheaper, and I'd have been fine with that as well.
I just think the profile's
I really like the through the legs rule. I also think it's a very powerful rule.
Yeah.
But I like it as a fluff thing. It's a rule taken from Vanguard, I believe. Yeah.
No, I like everything apart from 7 attacks. I think it's too many. And they should be a bit cheaper to fit with ogres better.
But it also strikes me that 2 or 3 of them behind your lines is really effective flyer defence, which means that you might not see as many boomers in every list.
Well, and it's almost like we took a list of the things that ogres struggle with, which is flyer defence, getting shot at, and unlocks.
But
gave them flyer defence, getting shot at, and unlocks.
What I would say to that is that's unfairly suffer against, because there's
you're
things
right. Yeah, I mean, is that it's the stuff that other armies at least have some answer to. That even if it's not an optimum answer to.
Yeah.
Actually, that they were impeding the fun of ogres, not necessarily the power level of ogres.
Yes. So I've always been critical of like people say that you can just have a combat individual behind your lines as flyer defence. No, because they can peel. They're going to survive it. They can peel off and still hit the rears. But if you have 3 of these charging a flyer, that's actually in really good danger territory at that point.
330 points though. I should invest into that defence.
But they're not unusable outs.
No,
outside of that.
they're not just doing that. No.
Yeah.
I think 2 of these would be really powerful. Would be awesome place to be.
That's your 200
But
points
that's
that you
what I mean.
saved for the big deal.
These 2 are the you saved. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the big deal. They're monster unlocks again, which is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these ploughing into combats, these adding on to things like that is really good.
Extra 7 attacks in combat is always welcome.
Yeah. See, this is what you want your Fury Aura for. It's a goblin keyword. Yeah.
It does. It does.
Does. It's fine. No, I think they're really, really, really good addition.
Mm-hmm.
Ogres, in my mind, they've never gone from popularity, but they were never the strongest army. I
always thought they were like just by nature of what they are, just kind of naturally weak.
I never fear playing ogres.
No.
Ever.
No.
I've lost to ogres plenty. I've lost to your ogres plenty, but for some reason, whenever I come against them, I've always known exactly the game I'm going to play.
So it's one of the things, and it's one of the things that the ogre list itself suffers from, is that they have the baseline, but everyone else gets special stuff on top of the baseline.
Plus, yeah.
Like the warriors are the base, the large infantry baseline.
Yeah.
That is what all large infantry is based on. Not only in the ogre list do you have units that are just better than warriors, but every other army has better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the warriors are 10 points too expensive, probably.
Or everything else is 10 points too cheap.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think ogres are one that will do well.
Absolutely.
In Clash 22.
Yeah, good.
I think you'll see them go towards top tables now fairly frequently. I think stealthy will be the big one for that as well.
You'll see them go to the top tables with a wide variety of armies.
Because it was always just shield breakers and boomers
and shield breakers won't go anywhere because shield breakers are still very good. But the stuff playing around those shield breakers now will change, and you will see, as you say, you'll see armies that don't include shield breakers.
Yeah, and it'll step away from that. 5 hordes, 5 heroes. That's it.
Yeah.
Armies.
No, very good. Happy.
Yep.